Welcome back, folks, to an especially angry edition of Another Day of My Life. So, I got the wheels back. They're not done. They are stripped. So that means now I need to polish them and you kind of see the dirty, hazy marks and such. So I got to polish. So now our good buddy, and if you're not following him, you should be, Torque Yorks Motorsports on YouTube. He's doing some crazy 250R builds. Beautiful, beautiful. Everything's replated, powdered, painted, perfect, polished. New bearing seals, gaskets, the whole nine. He's into it. You ought to go check him out. He recommended I get this polishing pad and then I can drive it with a drill. The problem is, I'll dirty it all up, it's not got a drill arbor. So my infinite wisdom told me that with an elevator bolt and some plexiglass, I could make myself an arbor. I spared you me breaking the corner off of it here and drilling super slow to not get these to crack. But the other thing is, here's the society we live in. I said I needed 1/8 inch plexiglass and I wanted a 4x4 piece because I only needed 2 little circles like this, just 2-inch circles that I just cut 2-inch hole saw. Now, the kid goes, well, we have whatever this dimension is in sheets, and we have to charge you for a whole sheet. And I was like, well, I guess I don't have any options. So he tells me the price, and then he says, you wanted a 4-inch by 4-inch piece? And I said, if I'm paying for the whole thing, I'm taking the whole thing with me, and I'll cut it myself. I wasn't even about to tell him that I needed 2 circles out of it. His mind would have exploded right there. Down there at the local high school, they must be teaching them all this good quality pronoun information and not how to think. The next thing is, I said I needed 1/8 inch. So rather than tell me that they only had 100 thousandths, okay, this is mind-blowing, groundbreaking stuff here. When you take an inch and divide it into 1,000 pieces, this is how you represent that, 0.100. Okay, that's 100 of those thousandths. So when you have a 1/2 inch, you have 500. A quarter is 250. Am I going too fast for you? And an 1/8 is 125. So instead of telling me that they only had 100, he just handed it to me like I'm stupid and don't know. Number 2, why wouldn't they cut a 4x4 out of this thing? Because now you sell that piece to me. This whole thing was $15. You sell the whole piece, I'd have paid $5 for that. Next guy may need an 8x10 or something. He'd pay $6-7. You could sell this $15 piece of plexiglass for probably $50 if you had enough little pieces coming out of it, and the people would be happy with their price, and you could make money. I don't know what the heck world we're living in, but this just upsets me to no end. Okay, so now, back to our task at hand. What we're going to do now is use this and a 1/4 inch or a 5/16 inch nut. I got to open that hole up with my special file because the hole saw didn't have the bit that I needed. Anywho, we'll just open this puppy up and then we go over here in the hardware store and we get 5/16 by 18. There's that. I better put a washer on there. So now what we can then do, I get this hole opened up, and I have no desire to be a how-to channel, but I just figured I was doing this and I dreamed this up on the ride back from the anodizing shop, and I figured I'd share it with you. Actually, what I was thinking of, a little piece of plexiglass that hangs on a wind chime, and the paddle's down here, and I thought about this being the perfect circular piece, and I thought, well, I'll just buy a piece and get a hole saw. I wasn't about to tell the kid at the hardware store to go cut, I was going to buy this hole saw and go cut me 2 pieces. I did find out it breaks kind of easy. So there's that and that. Let me get my hand washing supplies. I don't want grease and dirt and grit on that good polishing rag. Acetone, your best friend around the workplace. kills everything and eats everything. So now what we have here is pull the wool back. Now this is a wool polishing pad that he Torque York Motorsports very instructively instructed me on and told me exactly what I needed to do. And all this happy nonsense. Oh, I gotta do some more filing. That elevator bolt has a square shank on it, similar to a carriage bolt. So that means I gotta kind of make this fit over the square in some manner. Oh yeah. That should pinch down on there. I'll put the washer on, run the nut down. And since I'm running this in a drill chuck, and I'm probably never going to take it back apart, I'm not going to worry about pinching the threads with a pair of pliers to tighten this up, because I don't care about those threads. I'd actually prefer they be a little messed up. That way the nut won't ever back off. But now, since we have this done, like so, just give her a little snugging. Now, I'll tighten it up with a wrench later. We have, let's give her a whirl. Well, it ain't perfect. You know what, I can tighten that up right now. Wrenches. Okay. Make that as tight as it needs to be without breaking the plexiglass. Oh yeah, that's how you buff stuff. Oops. Now we're buffing. I might even put a few flats there on the bolt shank so the chuck jaws can really get a better bite. Now I don't intend on running it that hard. I have an old 500 RPM drill. It's got like a 48 pound John Deere flywheel on it that I'll probably use. But now, the next thing is I'm gonna make some way to hold these so I can go in there and buff and polish. And our good buddy Torque York, again, advised me to use this and another Meguiar's compound. It's called cutting or heavy cut or something. It's 105. I'll show this when I'm doing it. But he has a video of it too. So jump on over to Torque York's Motorsports. If I knew how to leave a link in the description to his YouTube page, I would. I don't know how to do that. But jump right over there and check out his video, because he has the gold stripped off of the liquid cooled wheels, and then he polishes them, makes them beautiful, and then has them re-anodized and powdered and whatever he does and however he restores them. And he doesn't do OEM dealer factory showroom restorations. He puts his own flavor on. They come out great looking. Some of them aren't all my taste, but they are beautiful nonetheless, and I can appreciate the craftsmanship and the work that goes into them, because I know how difficult this is. And I know that this stuff here has nothing to do with three-wheelers, but it's because of a three-wheeler that we're here. So if you made it this far in the video, congratulations, you're a trooper. These will be shiny, very shiny before long, as soon as the stuff comes in the mail. And then they will be blue again. And then the tires will go on, and I'll have a roller, and that's where that project's going to stop until the day that Mr. Vintage Motorsports himself, Mike Palmgren, gets his hands on it. And then it will be truly beautiful. We'll see you next time.